Hi, I'm Jenny Aiken, the co-director of Applied Research here at Blue Star Families. I was lucky enough to get to lead our Pain Points poll, a signature continuous polling effort that CMSI conducted during the early months of the pandemic. This poll became a go-to place for decision makers who were trying to make sense of what was going on with military families and veterans and figure out what to do about it. Sometimes understanding that data can be easier when you have a name and a place to attach to it.
Booz Allen Hamilton has provided us this really cool tool that can help us understand what the COVID situation was like for residents, especially in the Norfolk area, when they responded to the survey in week 10. We are going to be looking at active cases per 100,000 here. So that survey was fielded between May 20th and May 26th. You can see in here that population was nowhere near the level of COVID cases they would experience in the coming months. And even today, when I'm recording this, you can see that they still have not reached the level that they were when the respondents who took the survey in week 10 were dealing with the situation.
Military family life is challenging in the best of times, and COVID has brought with it new challenges for the entire country, but what it didn't do was erase those challenges that we were already dealing with. The period of the stop movement order was crazy. Our entire lives changed in 72 hours. There were just emotions all over the place, trying to help our kids figure out how they were balancing this new routine, trying to figure out how we could get my husband home, if it was possible to get him home. There seemed to be a lot of confusion between commands and different people within the Navy on how that actually would play into getting that approval. My children have handled it completely differently from each other. And my 17-year-old, I think, has been able to handle things quite well. But the longer this has gone on, he actually is becoming more and more anxious. He's a senior in high school this year, so he's very concerned because his SATs have been canceled now 4 times. Just the idea that he now has to potentially pick a college to commit to with never having been able to step foot on the campus and see it. On the flip side, my younger son, his anxiety in the very beginning was tied largely to his dad not being able to come home, and not being in school, he lost his entire support system. Aside from our family. He is very fortunate, we are very fortunate that he goes to a school that is very military, culturally competent. They do deployment support groups amongst other activities, and that just stopped. One of the things that happened during all of this is I just decided something had to give. Something had to give in my own life. I couldn't be running myself ragged at both ends. And then my husband did come home, which was great. But he came home and he found out right away that he had to leave again. The decision had to be made that while I liked my job, and I was very thankful for the job that I had, it was just too much and it just didn't work for the expectations of what I needed to do for our family at this point in time. I actually had resigned from the position that I had at the time, and able to make all of this work for our family. So now more than ever, military families need patience, compassion, and understanding and flexibility as we navigate these uncertain times.
Here in Virginia, we have a Virginia Military Advisory Council that consists of the commanders of all of the leading installations and missions around the Commonwealth. We're able to share with those commanders information about what the Commonwealth is doing to serve the needs of not just the local communities, but of their military communities as well. And that's one of the reasons that the Pain Points poll provided by Blue Star Families was so important. We were able to take the information from that poll and then share that information with the various veteran service organizations and active duty installations around the Commonwealth. That information was vital in that it addressed everything from child care services to employment opportunities, and just any service or resource that the members of our respective communities needed. It's important that you're engaged frequently with the leaders of the respective organizations so that information is shared in a timely manner. and we maintained frequent communication with our military commanders of the various installations and missions here in the Commonwealth. We also engaged our National Guard. We initially started by looking at alternate care sites for the National Guard. We expanded their roles and responsibilities to include testing. We also had our National Guard participate in food distribution, as well as providing training on how to properly wear some of the protective equipment that was being distributed around the state. And so I want to thank each of our defense community partners for their work and support in this effort. I want to extend a special thanks to you, the CMSI, to the Association of Defense Communities, to Blue Star Families, and all those who have supported our efforts here in the Commonwealth to make Virginia the best place for our veterans, our active duty personnel, and their families.